Hey, Bella here from Self-Publishing School, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the writing software NovelPad. I'm going to go over a tutorial, some pros, cons, features we love, features we wish it had, as well as an overall review toward the end. Now, before I dive into the tutorial, which I will get to in just a second, what I need you to do is like this video and subscribe if you're writing a book. If you want writing tips, publishing tips, or any of that kind of information, go ahead and subscribe, as well as take the software writing assessment that we have. We actually have 6 softwares that we recommend, and different people need different features. So I will link the writing assessment here so you can see if NovelPad is your match or not. Now, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial and review right now. So this is what NovelPad looks like when you just sign into your account. You'll have your dashboard, which is a list of all of your novels, active or archived novels. One thing I wish this feature did have is just folders in order to organize. So if I have 3 books in a series, I can just have, my what other Paranormal Royalty School series and have that be there. You can also import something from Word and it will automatically put it within the NovelPad software and create a book for you. So you don't have to just create one and copy and paste. You can actually import it, which is also great. So I'm just going to go ahead and open one of these books so you can see some of the other features. When you click on it, it's just going to open to your main manuscript page. And so this is going to be your whole manuscript in one place. And one really cool feature is the collapsible chapters. So I don't have anything in chapter 2 or 3, but you can see here that these are collapsible chapters, which is just really cool because if you don't want to scroll down 30,000 words to get to where you were last writing, you have the ability to just collapse chapters you're not working on and open the ones that you are working on. And that allows some easy navigation throughout that piece. I don't actually typically write in this manuscript view. I personally like going to the outline view, and I'll show you that next. Right here, you can see that you have this outline feature. There's the ability to either do it stacked this way or boards. I personally just like to view the boards a little bit better, but everyone's brains are different. So if you like to stack them, then there's that capability. There's also a search function here as well. So one thing to note about this chapter outline is that you can create different scenes within a chapter. So fiction writers, we all kind of know that some chapters have multiple scenes, multiple locations, different things happening within them. And this is a really great opportunity for you to be able to see what's happening in a scene at a glance. So as you can see here, this little untitled card has Happy Moment. It's chapter 1. It's in Sorcery Realm, which is a location, and I'll show you how to update those in just a second. So if you want to go ahead and edit any one of these, so you want to start writing within a scene, you would click this little quill pen here. And so anytime you see that little quill pen, it's going to allow you to write and to edit something directly on the page. And so you can see I've got that here, and that opens as half of your screen. This feature I really love because I like to write with it half open like this so I can see what's coming next. So if I'm writing chapter 1 and I know in chapter 3 she has to go to orientation and meet her roommates, then maybe when she's talking with her friends Emmy and Callan in chapter 1, she can mention that she better not get crappy roommates, and that can close a loop in chapter 3. When she has to meet her roommates, which, spoiler alert, are indeed crappy, half of them. A couple of them are decent, but that's one thing that you can do here. Another way that you can edit directly in this is just to click this button here and it'll go full screen. So this is different from the manuscript view in that it's only this scene. So only the scene that you've allowed or that you've opened here is editable on this screen. And that's just really good for distractions, like eliminating them, not having a lot of that stuff going on or other chapters, or it also prevents the temptation to go back 3 chapters and edit that one sentence that now you thought of a good word for, and keeps you on track to write, which is really valuable. So another feature within these scenes, so I just clicked out of that. Another feature within these are the ability to, so if you just click into the card, it'll give you different options. So you can edit a manuscript, and that will actually take you to the manuscript page that I showed you first. You can create a revision, so if you want to edit it, but you don't want to edit the main one, and you want to keep both versions just to see what you want more, you can create a revision of this, and it'll show up side by side, and you can either swap them or go back to the other one, keep them, and that sort of thing as well. And you can, so these little tags here will allow you to say what type of scene it is. So these are really customizable. I'll show you in a little bit how to edit what these are, but these are really customizable. and fully functioning, customizable as in any color, anything. So you can actually use these how you want. I personally like that roller coaster effect in books, and I never want to have sections of my book where there's, you know, 4 chapters of the same emotion. I want to keep things moving. I want to keep things interesting. So for me, I might label these the different emotions, how the reader might be feeling or what's happening in the story. So this is going to be a happy moment. This is going to be, that can be there. And this is going to be things are going well. And you can see right away that, oh, there's a lot of variety in the emotions of this. And I like to match the color with the emotion so I can, you know, easily understand. You can use those how you want, to be honest with you. There's also chapters, you can move them in here, and you can also just slide them around here. You can also set the locations. And so the locations are one that help you in another feature. The Insights feature will allow you to sort by locations, which scenes are in what location. So if you do have to bulk edit a location, so you decide that the chandelier is now made of crystals instead of solid gold, but you need to change that in every single time that you've mentioned the palace, there's a really easy way to do that. So make sure you're updating locations with where that stuff is. And then, so in the locations, I'll show you down below in the settings how you can update those and in the insights. So the next feature that we have here is the plotting. So we have your main plots, you can have subplots. You can also organize this one by stacking as well. So this just can allow you to keep track of those open loops that you create in your fiction book. So the way, especially if you're writing a book series, so the way that people often want to read the next book series is by keeping open loops, but closing the main plot loop. And so this can just help you keep track of which plots have different scenes, where that stuff exists, and all of that good stuff. As well as, yeah, just allowing you to keep track of what's happening in when, and if you have certain subplots, making sure that you're mentioning them or keeping them moving along whenever you're writing your scenes. The next feature is a character mapping. You can see I did a lot of work here. I haven't had any of these characters mentioned other than Ara in these scenes yet. So one of the ways that you can edit this is with the little character profile. Now I do wish they had an ability to upload an image, which I think they are working on that feature, so that could be coming down the pipeline. Again, they update and iterate this software pretty frequently, so even if you looked at other tutorial reviews, it might look differently based on how old that one is. So this one, we've just got some basic information. I have a scene idea. I have these different characteristics along with the nicknames. The nicknames feature is what's going to allow these scene cards to pop up. So if you have a character that is mentioned anywhere, based on the nicknames that you've given them, based on the nicknames that you've given them, they will show up wherever those names are. So if you decide that you're going to change a character's hair color to, you know, brown instead of blonde, you can look at all of the places they're mentioned to make sure that there isn't a mention of that. If you want to change a character name, these are all the places that you can change a character name, that sort of thing as well. So I love this feature. I'm a big character person in my stories. Again, this has the ability to stack your features as well, or stack your characters. I, again, like the board view a little bit more, but there's tons of different. I don't think there's even a limit, so you can just add as many characters as you need. So this is the location setting where you can add locations. So same type of view, it's going to bring up every single scene that is in that location. So if you want to change a location, you want to change something about it, or you know, oh crap, I can't remember what chapter that scene is in, but I know that it took place in the city, then I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to find the scene just so I can directly edit. So it's super organized and keeps everything moving in the right direction. This feature is really cool. I don't, oh, here's how I use it. So you can mess around with this quite a bit to find what works for you. So you can kind of get insights, chapters by locations, and you'll be able to see, okay, chapter 1 has these locations in there, or chapters by colors allow you to see how things are moving and progressing. If I do colors by chapters, this just helps me visualize it personally a little bit more, where I'm like, oh, okay, we have danger in this first chapter, and it allows you to go through. So if I have 25 chapters in my book, I can pretty well see how evenly dispersed
the danger is within my story and how evenly dispersed the happy moments are throughout my story. So if I'm scrolling and I've got 20 chapters listed back here and I don't see a happy moment for, 10 chapters, then that's probably an indicator that you can add something to your story to give a little bit of hope, to get people to keep pulling along, unless you're writing a tragedy and everything is a sadness. But that's one way that you can use the colors, and you can use this insights feature. You can also do characters by colors, so you can see how often are certain characters involved in a certain type of emotion, or characters by location. So you can see how often is one character in these types of location as well. So you can really mix and match and decide how this insights feature works for you. This next piece is just the daily word count tracker. I personally don't use this one too much. I use this goal tracking, which I think is just amazing, and I will show you exactly how I create some goals here. So if I already have this kind of set up, but if I were to say, let's do 25,000 words in the month of March, this is my goal. Words per month in the month of March. So if you were to do total, that would go off of this word count. So if I said I wanted 25,000 words total by the end of March, that's what I would choose. But if I want to write 25,000 new words in March, I will do the per month. And I want to track it in the manuscript or all scenes. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure what the differentiator there is, but all scenes, I'm going to start on March 1st and on March 31st, and I'm going to write, let's add a Tuesday write day, and Saturday is none. What you're going to get here, adapt schedule to progress. What this means is if you end up writing 3,000 words on the 3rd, it will update the rest of your word count goal to match. And if you don't write anything on this Friday, it will update and increase your word count the rest of your days that you've chosen to write. So if I save, you can see what my new goals would be. So these are my daily goals for the days I've said that I can commit to writing. Now, if I wanted to go on vacation, so I know that I'm not going to be able to write from March 24th or March 27th. I'm going to be on vacation, not going to be able to write, so I'm going to write 0 words. Save. Oh, this is in February. February 24th. It doesn't help that it's on the same day because February is 28 days. To the 27th of March, save, and you can see that it removed the days here, but then updated the word count goal to make sure that I stay on track for writing 25,000 words in the month of March. So this goal tracking is super beneficial. I love it. It tells you how many of today's goals, it tells you your total progress, and really cool, it shows you the total number of minutes that you've been writing your novel, which I think is really cool because when you go back at the end and take a look at how many hours you spent on your novel, it's just amazing to see the progress and how long it can actually take to write a novel and how exciting that could be. So now we can go down to the settings here. You have a save feature. It does autosave. If I write something and want to immediately go to a different screen, I do click save. There is a few second lag, but you also have revisions. I'll show you that in a second, where you're not actually ever losing your work. Revisions are saved, and so you can go back to see those. Now this is how you want this to view here, and also when you export it via ebook copies. So you can export it to Microsoft Word, Markdown, or EPUB, which is the version that you need for Kindles and ebooks and that sort of thing. But you can change the line height, the paragraph spacing, you can change the font. I'm not sure who would want to type in this. Maybe if you're doing like a screenplay. I like Bakersfield. 14, you can go up to 20 if you like large. I prefer a 14 font here. Again, indent size, all of that stuff, justified alignment, which really is just, it's making them square and flush with the edges on all sides, which is really how books are. You can also go to dark mode. So dark mode is available in all of this, which is great if you are concerned about your eyes. I like light mode. I don't know. I like to see the white with the text. Makes me feel like a real book. Typewriter mode, standard, and you can enable or disable grammar and checking. So if you're somebody who gets distracted by the grammar suggestions, if I go to my manuscript, you can see that there are suggestions here. If you're somebody who gets distracted by this stuff and it causes you to stop writing or anxious because you want to feel like you have to correct them, you can disable this. And then later, if you're ready to edit, you can enable it so that it can help you in your editing process, which I think is great. You can also choose which to disable or enable, which is fantastic. And this is also where you can create scene color labels. So you can literally just add here and choose any color that you can possibly imagine. I recommend having them darker shades because they won't be visible in the light mode at least. And so I can just name this love or romance. Let's do romance. So I know when the romantic scenes are taking place in this story. And so that is really an overview of NovelPad and how you can use it, how I use it, and what I like most about it. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Oh, and here are the revisions. By the way, I wanted to show you this. You can duplicate it, and you can create revisions here. So you can select what date you want to go back to. So let's say your cat, walked across the keyboard and erased your entire manuscript. No need to worry. You can just grab a previous version of it and you should be good to go. That's how to use NovelPad. Now let's get back into the video.
When you sign up for NovelPad, you'll also be invited to the Discord channel. Now there are a lot of different things in there, so let's dive into what this looks like and the community involved with NovelPad.
When you sign up with NovelPad, you will also get access to their Discord community. Now, this is just a group of writers with a few different sections that you can make the most of as a writer. So first of all, there's just the welcome where you can introduce yourself, different announcements on updates. As you can see, it's updated pretty regularly. So they're really good about finding bugs, fixing them, and also taking our suggestions, which I'll show you down below. There's also a writer room where you can kind of connect with other writers and start writing sprints. NaNoWriMo group, writing prompts as well, and help and suggestions. So in the suggestions, you can see even above here, where am I looking for? Right here, where I suggested adding the unlimited colors to that section where you can tag your scenes. And they not only implemented my suggestion, but they also let me know when it was live. And so that's really cool. That even after a couple months, they remembered that I suggested it, and then they let me know directly in their app as well. I also suggested a new feature up here. So I want to take a look at what that will be for the goal tracking. But ultimately, Discord comes with a lot of different places. You can ask for help in this section and they'll get back to you. You can recommend suggestions and they'll ask follow-up questions and try to see what you're actually looking to gain out of it. And as well as let you know if there are bugs, or you can let them know if you're experiencing bugs, and they're really good about going in and solving that problem for you. Overall, this is a great writing community on Discord and another perk of signing up with their software.
NovelPad has a ton of different features that are super valuable for writers. Now, a couple things I wish NovelPad had is folders within the different books, so you can kind of filter those, which I already mentioned in the tutorial video. I also wish they had kind of a more adaptive scheduling so you could plan sprints or different ways to plan the days and how many words that you're going to write there, in addition to the adapting schedule that it does have. I also wish that NovelPad had some kind of collaboration feature where you could send your writing to friends and other people could comment on it, similar to the way that Google Docs works with their commenting features. And great news is I do know NovelPad is working on this right now. So they're very intent on updating and making this software the best that it could be. Now, overall, NovelPad is fantastic. I personally use it to write my books and I don't use anything else currently. It's my favorite. The customer service is beyond anything I've experienced with writing softwares. What I also love is that they're really dedicated to improving the software. So if you make suggestions and they see the value in it and it's something that they're able to implement, they do. I have already had a feature implemented from the suggestions that I've made, and I've only been using NovelPad for a couple of months. So overall, this is a super promising software that we give 4 out of 5 stars. And if you're a fiction author looking to get started with NovelPad, go ahead and hit the link in our description to start with your 14-day free trial, as well as take the writing software assessment. Even though you might like the sound of NovelPad, it is possible that a different writing software is a better fit for you. So click the link and take the assessment, and you're going to learn which software is right for you. And if it's NovelPad, fantastic, go ahead and get started. As always, subscribe to this channel if you're writing a book, if you want some more writing tips and want to stay in the know on the latest and up-to-date information from writing books, marketing them, and self-publishing them. Subscribe, and I will see you next time.